On this episode, we're back in the shop. We're going to show you around and see what we've got going on lately. All right, let's go inside and check it out. Got a few 3D printers running production on customer parts, not really car related, but stuff that we designed for the chainsaw world, I guess. Bunch of logging industry stuff, so we've designed a whole product line for a customer. He came to us with an issue and an idea on how to solve it, so we've designed them and we just 3D print them in production. So they pretty much run all the time. They're just 3 of them running constantly. So it's look quite a bit different here. Talked about the Tacoma last time. Big blue truck's gone back to the customer. He's been driving it around. So Z-Car's down in Arizona at Z-Trix getting molds made of the entire body, all the custom fiberglass work that got done. So it's down there getting that done. It'll be back, I don't know, in a few months, and then we'll finish that car up. 39 Merc, body is over here. Now it's off the stock chassis. We have completely fabricated the new chassis since the last time. And now we're moving on to drivetrain mounting, motor and transmission, body mounts. So back here we started working, like this body mount hasn't been welded on yet. So we designed them up, laser cut them, press brake, and this will be the rear body mount here. So we're just finishing up a little of the rear cross member before we get that tacked in. We're gonna go over like a bunch of detail and probably have a whole video just showing the details of this chassis, but it's what I call our wishbone chassis for the rear. And so it's got this center wishbone link that kind of makes it like a 3-link with a center uniball pivot, and then it's bag on lower bar and cantilevered shocks on bell cranks, and it packages up real nice. We get 10 inches of suspension travel in the rear, all usable. Bilstein shocks here, we got them covered up, but Willwood brakes, Ford 9-inch, all the rails, 2x4, 188, mandrel bent one piece, and then 2x3 outriggers out to catch the body. So we have the one-piece rail, and then these outriggers move out, and so the body mounts don't have to be real big and cantilevered out. So then our front IFS geometry and kit, all made in-house, designed, laser cut, uniballs, building the spindles, everything. Same thing up here, Bilstein shocks. And then this particular one's getting small block Chevy with a 700R4 transmission. And then we have the body over here just mocked up. This is about the lowest point of the chassis. Or of the car, on the chassis, it's about the low point. But we're going through and starting to work on a bunch of the under dash stuff and steering and brakes. So kind of the cool thing that he's doing is we're putting electric steering and electric brakes on this car. So we'll be using the Tesla booster. So here's the electric booster that you see people using now that are the electric. And then we're also using the micro steer in the column and adapting that to be electric steering from Flaming River. So it's got a 90-degree bell crank mount for the brake pedal to mount the brake master under the dash. And then it's getting a Olds, like a 50 Olds dash put in it, so that gauge cluster. So we're getting all this stuff kind of fit in at one time here, and then like the vintage air system and all the wiring, and we're doing all of it at one time to get everything under the dash, and the dash will actually be removable to be able to service everything. So we're working on this at the same time that we're doing all the chassis fab on it as well. So, just real quick here. So this is just the Lathe's running just small production on some of our chassis stuff. So we try to build as much as we can, and most of it's in-house because it's custom. So this is like a lower bung for the arm for our IFS, and so it's designed to slip into part of the tube arm and everything, but it's designed, it's hard to probably see in here, but like we showed on before, everything's an AN bolt, so we have like a counter bore and then it's threaded deeper in. So when you use like an AN bolt like this, when it goes in, it's not going to stop here at the threads. It's actually going to go in and be countersunk, and that set distance will be, this might not be the right bolt, but the distance between this head here and the end of this will be the set distance for the shock. And so that'll go in there. And so actually the shear point of the bolt will like be way back here. It won't be right here, or it won't be in the threads. It won't be in it. It'll be on the strongest part of the bolt, which is on the widest part of the shank. So that's how we do it. We just machine it all in house, and then it buries in deep. So if I hold that there and then unthread it all the way out, come on, there it is. So you can see we probably got, you know, a 1/4 inch of this shank buried inside, so that it puts the shear load inside the bolt and back here on the bung. So stuff like that. So we prototype all this stuff and then machine it in house, and there's a whole wide range of different parts. It takes a lot of parts to build a chassis, so different bungs that we've made, or even just the outer bushing tubes, are machined here in house for all the different arms, whether they be front or the rear link bars or whatever. We're able to make them, you know, different stuff that come off the mill and the lathe. So that's just running through the production. And then I think over here we're in the middle of we just started a batch of drill guides. So if you're not familiar, make a drill guide to re-drill lug patterns. So change your lug pattern on the axles. So we laser out the blank rings, put them in the hawse in a fixture, and then re-drill everything, or it's all drilled in one spot, CNC'd. So then we take the old pattern that bolts on, and then we'll have some guide tubes that help you hand drill basically the new pattern, and then you just rotate this around and do your new lug pattern. So these are really popular, and we sell a lot of them, and so everything is 100% made in house. The guide tubes on the lathe and our machine lasers, so we're just running that stuff right now. So if we wander back over to the other side of the shop, it's not a whole bunch to look at, but there's the wheels and tires for the Chevy Pickup over here. Last time you saw it, we were just getting stuff mocked up. The chassis, well, we'll go talk about it, but it's going into final assembly. Here's kind of a really unique project that we're just getting going on, and we're building an exhaust for this airboat that's actually airplane engine powered. I don't know much about airplanes, so I can't tell you all the specifics about it, but opposing cylinder, 4-cylinder, and so we're doing some tube work on it to mount the engine, and then also putting all stainless exhaust and muffler system, and just doing some maintenance, and some bearings need to be redone on like how it functions and steers with the rudder system in the back. And so it's really unique. It's like I don't even know the year of the boat. I would guess 60s or early 70s, just judging by the construction and the shape, but it's just wood and fiberglass with a big fan on the back, and he says it's pretty fun to drive, so just needs to be a little quieter. The open headers don't do it for him, pretty loud. So we're gonna go ahead and put some Borla mufflers on it and all polished stainless, take it all up for him and make it look a little better and be a little more manageable, not so deafening. So here's the 53 Chevy Pickup over here. That's chassis has been wrapped up, powder coated, come back. And so we're in the final assembly stage on this pickup. It'll go pretty quick. Already got most of it mounted. We'll get ready to mount the exhaust, and then all the body panels will go on. It's pretty much been wired and plumbed. We do all that before we send it off to powder coat, so it all assembles real fast. It's a Blueprint engines. I don't remember if it's I think it's a 350 or 383 stroker with the Sniper EFI on it. Just gonna be a good driving truck for them. Basic upgrades like Ford 9-inch 4-link fuel cell in the back. Some of the stuff I went over last time. If you've never, or if you ever use these trucks, you know how they don't really close very well. Factory hinges or latches aren't great, so we put the trick latches on it, and it's a really nice upgrade. I mean, it makes it more like a modern truck. There's no fighting latches or whatever. It takes very little effort and closes nice. So we did that. be able to put, it's a pretty basic kit, doesn't take, it just takes a little bit of cutting in that. And then made some custom brackets to fit generic TMI seats, Dakota digital gauges. I did it steering column, all the kind of the usual stuff you see in these pickups. So that will make for a really nice driver for him. So that one will be wrapped up probably here within the next month or so. He'll be driving it around. Just waiting on a few parts, you know, how it is. And then we've made some progress on the K5 Blazer. So we've got it scanned, cut down everywhere we need, kind of mocked up for where we want for chassis stuff, have it all designed in CAD. And so in the process of starting to build some of the components at the time and then getting the rails mandrel bent, and then it'll head over to the chassis table and start to get put together and fabricated. So it's on 26-inch wheels. So it's pretty tight to fit everything in there and get it all functioning so he can drive it and enjoy it. But here in the back is some of the parts that we've already started to fabricate for it. Like here, it's got a similar rear suspension to the Merc. So there would be like the bell crank for the rear shock, the rear lower arm, the wishbone, the front upper arms. All this stuff is already gone through production and fabricated. So we're just staging the parts over here and building some of the parts as we wait for other parts to come in. So that's most of the shop, a bunch of raw material in here for production work and running parts through the machine and doing all that, combination of stainless and steel. And then we're just getting ready to get some more vehicles in here, and so next time we'll be able to show you. I guess we could go over more of the Tacoma. It's leaving this week to go to the body shop to get painted. So as you guys have probably seen, we started to release videos on YouTube to show all the tips and tricks that we've learned on these Tacomas and show the install of like our IFS kit, the mini truck back half, rear disc brake conversion, wheelwood master cylinder conversion, and all that. And then we're just wrapping this truck up. So we've got everything painted on the chassis, and then it's going off to the body shop. So those will show a lot more detail of all this stuff. So I won't go into it now, but there'll be a bunch of series of videos that'll go through all that. I think it's 8 or 9 episodes that will go through all this stuff. Bed modifications, front inner fender modifications, all the details. I'm trying to show everyone and help them and show them how we figured out what to do and try to be the most complete install and tech on getting these things to lay frame on stock body. And then over here there's some air compressor mounts that we've designed up and developed to go on the side of the chassis, and then stainless fuel tank for the back half as well. So these are a few more products that we've already R&D'd here recently, and then we'll offer as add-ons to the mini truck back half. So anyway, I think that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. A little quick overview, and we'll see you next time with the update.